So hello everyone. Thank you for being here today. My name is Jomark Alonzo Maymay and I'm here to present my research study entitled Assessing the Relationship Between Distraction Level and Study Habits Among Students in Cagayan National High School. This study aims to explore how distractions, both internal and external, affect the study habits of students in our school and how this relationship might influence academic performance. I look forward to share my findings with you and discussing the implication of the results. So to begin, let's look at a broader perspective on study habits and the role of reading. In many parts of the world, including Nigeria, we see a concerning trend regarding the reading habits of adults and students. For instance, approximately 40% of adults in Nigeria never read a book after finishing school. This statistic highlights a larger issue where reading is often seen merely as a task to pass exams rather than as a lifelong skill. So according to Pitan 2013 and Okasina 2019, that in Nigeria, approximately 40% of adults never read a book after school, and as many view reading solely as a means to pass exam, and parents who lack reading habits often fail to encourage their children to develop good study habits, which are typically learned through observation. So here is my global settings. So this global context is relevant to my study because it underscores the importance of not only individual efforts but also the influence of the environment, such as home and community, on a student approach to studying. So next is the Asia setting. So in my in the Asia settings, studies have been conducted to explore the differences in study habits among students at various academic levels. For example, a study conducted in central Taiwan examined the study habits of students across different years of university. The research, which surveyed 964 students from 14 departments across 3 universities, aimed to identify differences in study habits between freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors. The findings, as noted by Sassi et al. 2020, show that as a student progress through their university years, their study habits tend to evolve, though poor study habits remain a challenge at all levels. This research is relevant to my study as it helps us understand how study habits develop over time and the potential factors that contribute to their improvement or decline. So next is the national setting. In the context of the Philippines, specifically in Pangasinan, a study conducted by Relusio 2019 explored the study habits of grade 11 students. The findings revealed some concerning patterns. 45.83% of students reported that they only sometimes read their study materials or review their lectures, and a significant 50% admitted that they do not take notes at all during class. These results highlight a gap in the development of effective study habits amongst high school students, which could be contributing to lower academic performance. The findings are important for understanding the challenges that students face in adopting consistent study practices, and they underscore the need for strategies to encourage better study routines and note-taking habits. So, this context in my national settings is significant for my study because it reflects the potential distractions and barriers students face in their academic journey, which could help explain the relationship between study habits and distractions in our local setting. Looking at the local context, particularly in the Mindanao region, we see that students in areas like Asuncion, Davao del Norte face significant challenges with distractions that impact their ability to focus during study sessions. Teachers in this region have reported that these distractions contribute to poor academic performance among students. In our own setting, at Sagayan National High School, a recent survey revealed that 30 students are struggling with concentration due to various forms of distraction. These distractions range from environmental factors, such as noise and family responsibilities, to the increasing influence of digital media and social platforms. The finding highlights how local condition can directly affect students' ability to concentrate, further emphasizing the importance of understanding the relationship between distractions and study habits. So this local insight is critical for my study, as it shows the immediate challenges faced by students in our school, which may reflect broader trends in the region. By addressing these distractions, we hope to improve study habits and ultimately academic performance. So, in the next slide is the research objectives. So, in the research objectives, says that to describe the level of distraction level in terms of. So here, the distraction level is my independent variable with their indicators, physical environment at home, psychological factors, and personal factors. The second one is to describe the level of study habits in terms of. So the study habits here is my dependent variable with the indicators of time allocation to study, note taking, and uses of library. The third one is to determine the significant relationship between distraction level and study habits. And the last one is to determine which domain in distraction level significantly affects study habits. The next one is the hypothesis. So here in the hypothesis is we the first one is there is no significant relationship between distraction level and study habit, and there is no domain of distraction level that significantly influences study habits. So here is my theoretical framework. The first paragraph here is the theory of the relationship between my independent variable and dependent variable, which said here that cognitive load theory provides a useful framework for examining how distractions can impact learning. According to Hollander et al. 2010, Paas et al. 2023, and Sweller et al. 1998, cognitive load refers to the amount of mental effort required to process information in working memory. Since working memory has a limited capacity and can hold information only for a short duration, it plays a crucial role in learning and information retention. When students are distracted, these distractions increase the cognitive load on their working memory. The additional mental effort required to deal with distraction divides the cognitive resources available for learning, which can impair both the retention of new information and the effectiveness of study sessions. This means that when students are constantly distracted, their ability to focus on and process study materials is compromised, leading to poorer study habits, ultimately reduced academic performance. So this theory is essential to my study as it explains how distraction may interfere with students' ability to engage effectively in their studies and form good study habits. So, in the second paragraph, um, this theory is the independent variable with its indicators. Um, in the second paragraph, rather, is the independent variable and its indicators theory. So, in the independent variable, is distraction level. So my independent variable is distraction level, which is influenced by several factors that impact students' ability to focus. These factors are rooted in Kaplan's attention restoration theory, which suggests that exposure to natural environments helps reduce material fatigue and improve concentration by restoring the brain's ability to focus. Distraction can stem from three main areas. The first one, the first one is the physical environment at home, which is my indicators. So, factors like noise or clutter that can disrupt concentration. Art suggests that natural environments can help mitigate these distractions. So, the second one is the psychological factors. Stress or anxiety can interfere with cognitive resources. Art posits that restorative environments, such as those with nature, can ease mental fatigue and promote focus. The third one is the personal factors. Habits or lifestyle choices like excessive screen time or poor time management that contribute to distractions. Art highlights how environments that require less mental effort can help reduce distraction. These factors are key to understanding how distraction levels affect study habits as they influence the brain's capacity to focus and learn effectively. So, in the third paragraph is the dependent variable and its indicators theory. So, the dependent variable in my study is study habits, which are influenced by several key indicators: time allocation to study, uses of library, and note-taking. This is based on Zimmerman's self-regulated learning theory, 2002, which emphasizes that students' ability to manage their learning through effective time management, resource use, and note-taking is crucial for academic success. Zimmerman's theory suggests that self-regulated learning leads to: first, better study habits. Students who organize their study time and environment develop more effective study routines. Second, improve academic performance. Self-regulated learners perform better academically by managing their learning process. Third, deeper understanding. Effective regulation enhances understanding of the material. These indicators, time allocation to study, library usage, and note-taking, are essential for developing strong study habits and achieving academic success. So here is my conceptual paradigm. So in the independent variable, which is the distraction level and its indicators: physical environment at home, psychological factors, and personal factors. And the dependent variable is study habits, which with the indicators time allocation to study, note taking, and uses of library. So here is the research design. So this study will use a quantitative non-experimental design, specifically employing a descriptive correlational technique to explore the potential relationship between distraction level and study habit. The next one, so here is the research local. The research was conducted in Region 11, specifically in the district of Asuncion, Davao del Norte, which has a population of 59,322 and covers an area of 297.39 km squared according to the 2015 census. Research activities will be conducted at Sagayan National High School. So the population and sample. The study involved 317 students from Sagayan National High School, 63 from grade 7, 40 from grade 8, 57 from grade 9, 52 from grade 10, 58 from grade 11, and 47 from grade 12. So here in the population ensemble is we use a Slovene formula to determine the potential population or the study involved students. So the statistical tool mean was used to measure the level of distraction level and study habits. This will be utilized for objectives 1 and 2. The second one is the person R was used to determine the significant relationship between distraction level and study habits. The third one is the regression analysis was used to determine which domain of distraction level significantly influences study habits. So here is the result. So we have table 1, table 2, table 3, and table 4. So here in table 1 is the result of my past conducted survey in Cagayan National High School. So here is the independent variable and the indicators. So the highest score is for psychological factors, which has a 3.31 mean, followed by physical environment at home, which is 3.30, and personal factors, 2.34. The overall average for distraction level is low, 2.98, showing that low level of distraction is showing that a low level of distraction is an indicator of their potential for academic success, as they possess the necessary skills to manage their learning and stay focused on their academic goals. So here is the result of the distraction level. So the physical environment at home, it has a mean of 3.30, which is the description moderate. The second one is the psychological factors, which has a mean 3.31 that has a description moderate. The third one is the personal factors, 2.34 mean and has a description of low. And the grand mean and the total mean of this or the grand mean of this is low, which is 2.98. So the description here is based on the parameter limits in my chapter 2. So the table 2 is the result of the dependent variable, which is the study habits and its indicators. So here is in my past conducted survey in Sagayan National High School, this is the result of the dependent variable, which is the study habit. So the study habit level of students in Sagayan National High School show that note taking has the highest mean scores 3.40, followed by time allocation to study 3.34, and uses of library has the lowest score 2.98. The average study habit score is 3.15, indicates that students have a foundational understanding of study routines but may benefit from refining their approaches to enhance academic performance. Overall, this moderate level of study habits reflects potential for growth and improvement, which, if developed further, could positively influence their academic success. So here is here is the table 2. So in the time allocation to study, the mean here is 3.34 and the description is moderate. Second, the note taking. The note taking has a mean of 3.40 and the description is high. The third one is the uses of library that has a mean of 2.71 and has a description of moderate. And the grand mean or the total mean of this is 3.15 and the result is moderate. So here in table 3 is the significance of the relationship between distraction level and study habits. So to get these values, to get these results in table 3, I use um, correlation and regression in data analysis using Excel on my tally. So my independent variable is distraction level. My dependent variable is study habits. So the R value here is 0.40 and the R squared is 0.16. My P value is 0.00 and the decision is rejected. So there is a weak correlation between distraction level and study habits, indicating that students with low distraction level tend to have a moderate study habit. The R squared value of 0.16 means about 16.41% of the variation in distraction level is linked to study habits. So that is the significance of the relationship between distraction level and study habits that has a result weak correlation between distraction level and study habits. So here is the table 4. So in the table 4 is the domain in distraction level significantly affects study habits. So in my um this is the indicators of my um independent variable which is the distraction level. So the first indicators is the physical environment at home. The second one is the psychological factors, and the third one is the personal factors that has and that have a value p value 0.00, which um which is the decision is rejected. So all these three indicators is rejected. So it means it has a what you call that? It has a relationship between the two variables. So this is the summary of findings. The first one is the level of distraction level among students in Sagayan National High School have an overall mean of 2.98 with a descriptive equivalent of low. The level of study habits among students in Sagayan National High School have an overall mean of 3.15 with a descriptive equivalent of moderate. There is a statistically significant relationship between distraction level and study habits of students, as indicated by a probability value of 0.00 and a significance level of 0.05, leading to the rejection of the null hypothesis. In statistical terms, there is significant evidence to reject the idea that distraction level of students is not impacted by study habits, as the calculated probability value of 0.00 is lower than the commonly accepted level of significance of 0.05. So this is the summary of findings of the result of the table 1 to table 4. Conclusion. The level of distraction level is low evident. So our distraction level or our independent variable is low evident. The level of study habits is moderately evident. So the result of the study habits is moderate. There is a significant relationship between distraction level and study habits. So in the past, in the past or in the back slides, we states there the research objectives. So here is the result. There is a significant relationship between distraction level and study habits. Then distraction level is significant in predicting the study habits of the student. So that is the conclusion of my study. So here is the recommendation. First, the Department of Education or the DepEd should strengthen study skills program at Sagayan National High School by incorporating structured workshops on time management, goal setting, and concentration strategies. These programs should address specific challenges such as distractions, involve collaboration among stakeholders, and include monitoring mechanism for continuous improvement. The Philippine Education Plan 2030 should focus on integrating technology to aid in developing better study habits and minimizing distractions. DepEd should introduce digital tools for focus and time management, train teachers to use these tools, and educate students on responsible technology use to enhance learning. DepEd should establish guidelines and initiatives to create optimal study environments at school and home. These include quiet spaces, proper seating, and minimize distractions. Cagayan National High School should invest in infrastructure like soundproof classrooms and designated study areas to reduce environmental distractions. Mindfulness and self-regulation techniques should be integrated into the curriculum to help students manage distractions and improve focus. Teachers should be trained to implement these strategies, and professional development programs should support educators in modeling and teaching effective study practices. DepEd should promote peer mentoring and study group programs to encourage collaboration and accountability among students. Teachers should facilitate these programs to ensure productive and goal-oriented interaction that help improve focus and study habits. Individualized interventions, such as counseling and time management coaching, should be implemented for students highly susceptible to distractions. Teachers and counselors should collaborate to identify and support these students with tools to enhance focus and academic performance. DepEd should develop family engagement programs to educate parents on supporting their children's study habits and minimizing home distractions. Workshops and active family participation can foster environments conducive to effective study practices and emotional support. Further research should explore various distractions and their impact on academic performance to develop targeted interventions. DepEd should support ongoing student DepEd should support ongoing studies to identify best practices for minimizing distractions and improving students' learning. So that is the um, implication or the result of my study. So that is the overall result of my study from chapter 1 to chapter 4. So hope that you can uh, learn about my study of about my research study entitled assessing the relationship between distraction level and study habits among students in Saigon National High School. So that is the overall findings of my research study. So as students, we are not just shaping our grades, but also crafting the habits that will define our future. The key to success lies not in the absence of distraction, but in our ability to manage them with focus and intention. Thank you for listening.